Hey, welcome back everyone. So on today's video, we're gonna do a little more work on the FD. For those of you that are new, on my last episode, I was trying to install the new exhaust. I found out that my rear diff had a massive leak. So these next series of videos will be about me dropping the diff and trying to diagnose why the rear diff is leaking. We also picked up some new seals and filters from Axel Rotary. I also ended up getting a transmission brace from Elite Rotary Shop, as well as the differential brace from Banzai Racing. All right, so under the FD right now, so this brace right here that runs from the trans all the way down to the diff is the power plant frame. There's 4 21 mil bolts or nuts here, and then it's the same towards the diff. There's 4 21 mils there. There's this brace here that I'm going to be replacing because it's just trash. But these are held on by, I believe, 12 mil bolts, and then it's probably a good idea to drop these shields, and so these are just 10 mil bolts, and they're on both the driver's side and passenger side. There it is again, just all this crud and stuff on the rear diff. So that's what we're gonna attend to and see why is it leaking. So just in case any of you guys were wondering what the PPF looks like on the diff side, so same thing, 21s, 421s here, and then up here. So hopefully just zip all 8 down and it should drop. So something that I had to do a little bit of research on with the FD is that there's no transmission like cross member on these cars. I guess what holds up the transmission is this power plant frame. So I was like super confused that like, why did this not come with a cross member? Did somebody just forget to put it on, or does somebody just like, hey, slap it together, get it out? So what I need to do, because I'm just not entirely sure what will happen if I drop this, is I'm going to get a jack. I'm going to put it under here just to support the transmission. Once I get this out, I'll get the transmission brace, bolt this up to here, and then hopefully that will support the transmission until I can figure out what's going on with the diff. There she is, everyone. So this is a power plant frame. So this is the transmission side, differential side. I wish I had a second person to help me out, because that was not easy. Like I thought it was going to be just 8 bolts, drop on the ground, piece of cake, move on. But it's out. But the differential right now has a pretty nice rake to it. So I think I'm going to also install the differential brace just to prop it up for the time being until I can shoot. Maybe I should just try to get it out now, but I'm gonna put it up on there anyway, just so there's not too much stress on the bushings. I had to stop filming because definitely trying to take the PPF off was a 2-person job. But so far I have the trans supported by the transmission mount or brace, and then the diff is supported by the diff brace right now. When I took the brace off, or the actual drive line off, the diff just sagged. So this was just some preventative maintenance I wanted to do. But so far what's left is I need to disconnect the axles, and then there's these mounts right here and here. And my Ebrake cable is attached to the top of the diff, so I gotta take that out as well. And it should be out. We got the diff tilted down. It took the Ebrake bracket off. So this here is a 12 mil. It bolts to the top of the diff. Just take that out. And then I took the pleasure of removing the axle from the diff. So next will be removing the axle from the hub. So pretty much everything on here, I'm going to remove here, and then the upper knuckle. And they're all 14 mil, so it should be pretty simple. Then we could swing that out of the way and then pull the axle out. Another note too, the axle nut on FDs are 35 mil, so just so you know. Axle's out. It kicked my ass, so I just want to give you guys a couple of tips and tricks on if you're able to do this too. So here on your toe link, and this goes for like your upper and your lower connections, just take your fastener and put the nut on the end, and this is like a dowel right here. So what you want to do is take your hammer and then hit this up against the dowel to push it out. It'll make your life so much easier when trying to put your putting this back on. So just some tech tip, and then I guess secondary tech tip is when you're trying to get your axles out of the hub here, what I found that helped me the most was spraying some PB Blast in here and then putting the old axle nut back on and taking the 35 mil nut, or I mean excuse me, 35 mil socket, and putting the hammer on this end and just smacking it in, and that helped me get these guys out pretty quickly. Next will be getting the diff mount off the subframe. So these are 17 mil on both sides. Yeah, this one's pretty gunked up, but yeah, 17 mil, and this baby should come right out. Diff out was a little bit of a struggle, but not too bad actually. The diff mounts are definitely shot, so it's all gunked up in gear oil. So I'll definitely be replacing that. But I think the culprit of the leak are definitely these axle seals. So I have those already. But the next step is to really just clean the diff up. I'll probably pop the cover off just to make sure everything's okay. Put some new RTV around it, and it should be good to go back in.